What's up? We're live. Okay.
Live.
We didn't do an intro today because of, we're busy. There's been a lot of things going on. You might notice that Boats is not here. Katie's here. Katie is
Hello.
my number 2 when it comes to making product breakdown videos. And the solver of all problems on the shipping floor here. And today, we haven't even really, it's been a bit crazy couple days, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you believe it's like mid-November?
Yeah.
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 Thanksgiving next week, man.
Yeah. We have 7 working days until Black Friday.
The clock is ticking.
The clock.
So essentially not Saturday and Sunday?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I don't count
9
those.
days.
9 days.
Working days.
Yeah, it's like, just because it's Saturday, Sunday doesn't mean we won't be working, but
Yep.
the idea of that work week is thinning out now. I'm curious. I was looking at last year, just on Black Friday. We didn't quite break 1,000 orders in the day, but I know we will this year, and it's gonna be terrifying.
Yeah,
Like,
we do that on like a Wednesday now.
I don't even know what number to project to like I figure like low end. I think we'll probably have like 5,000 orders over the weekend. But I don't know. I consider it like a 5-day weekend, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, 5 days. It's gonna be wild. So I don't know how much we'll talk about that. We might talk a little bit about that next week or week after or whatever.
And leave us nice comments in the invoice order.
Yes. Also, one of the reasons Katie's here, one of the reasons Boats is not here is we have certain staff that have that are either part-time medical professionals or are married to medical professionals, and it's getting a little weird in Kansas City with the COVID, and so Boats has had to kind of take his responsibilities home because he's kind of an exposure risk to everybody else here, and we're trying to keep as safe as possible. But
I think we should try the phone call thing next week.
yeah, I would love to
I
call
think that's
him
the
in.
next layer of stuff we need
We
to.
just FaceTime him in.
And we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doable. So we have the equipment. Whether or not we can use it,
So you're saying my mom could be on the podcast?
sure.
Sure.
I'm not saying she will be.
Why?
Do you not remember last week when you said something? Joe said something like, "You're gonna be on the podcast," but all I heard was, "Your mom's gonna be on the podcast."
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, "My mom's gonna be on the podcast before I even am."
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Sherry's a saint. She's great.
What does she think of your product breakdown videos? For
She
Playgrounds?
loves them. She watches all of them and she reposts them, or she shows like my grandpa. 'Cause
Okay.
he
Okay.
likes them too.
I've never. I've never met your mom, right? Okay. Has she ever been here? Oh, okay.
I thought she's been to this office.
No, she has not.
What? You know what? If she's listening right now, we're inviting her to the office.
Sherry, you can come.
Come on by.
She
Just
has
like
to wear a mask,
3
though.
masks.
Yeah, she will. She has lots of them.
My mom has to come by soon because she has a case of wine downstairs.
Hey,
Because
actually, if you were to get another case of wine, my mom would also show up.
all right. Yikes.
It's true.
Uh,
She likes her wine.
Do you think this vaccine thing is going to work? Do you think this thing is going to go quickly, or are you? How long do you think we're in for this whole living life behind masks thing?
I think
Forever.
it's originally we were shooting for the fall of 2021, correct?
Yeah, that
And
your wife obviously is anybody who's listened to the show. Everybody knows your wife manages a venue and is involved in the music industry side of things. So that's what the whole music industry is saying. It's like October 21 is like when things go back to normal.
Well, the Kansas City guidelines that they talked about yesterday go until January 21st,
Of
2021.
right. What I'm saying is,
So
I might have misspoke. What I'm saying is because they'll just keep kicking the can down the road as they
Right.
need to. What I'm saying is the music industry is saying October of next year is when people are expecting venues to open up. So like we're talking 11 months from now.
Right.
Is when they're thinking. So
I was just thinking it was probably it'll probably be even later than that, since this guideline mandate has been extended until 2021 of January.
but 2021 is only like 60 days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, if they thought they were going to open up in the
Oh.
fall, that'll probably be even pushed
Oh.
back further.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So
that's what I'm thinking. Is that we're going to go into next fall because
So we agree.
people are saying about this virus. When we first started talking about this in January, the whole timeline was that there's going to be a resurgence in the fall of this year, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But their projections, when I remember looking at them, it was just kind of like whatever it looked like in April, it was going to look like again in the fall a little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
just like a little bump there. But for some reason, when I'm looking at everything, it's way higher than it was projected.
Oh, yeah.
Which
We are
scares
on
the
a
shit out
roller
of me.
coaster, and we're going straight up.
Well, the problem too is, so talking to like medical professionals and stuff in the area, the people that are filling up the hospitals here are not necessarily locals. It's from the surrounding area and the rest of the state, both Kansas and Missouri, of all the people who
shit.
don't have mask mandates, aren't socially distancing. I met the mayor yesterday on TV was talking about how they busted 200-person weddings and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Well, and that makes sense why he kept saying, like, I call on the surrounding counties.
Oh,
and
and
said
he-
that makes a lot
yeah,
more sense.
He even had
Yeah.
some shade to throw at Johnson County.
Yo, the shade was real yesterday.
because you can have events in Johnson County, which is like half of Kansas City if you
Yeah.
consider like who lives in the suburbs. And he was saying you can have events up to 50 people there. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's like doing it on state line and just like waving.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's-
everybody not
There's,
having fun on the other side.
Hospitals in Topeka that are asking, or sorry, hospitals in Oklahoma that are asking to transfer to Topeka, even that far out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. St. Louis said that they're going to not allow. They don't have the space to allow rural Missourians and Illinoisans. I think that's how you say that. They just don't have the room to take all these rural cases anymore, which is where it's spiking the most.
Yeah, I read something like what the issue, like the major hospitals like New York and all that stuff that were hit, was that at least they were able to get help from other states.
Right, because nobody had been hit hard yet.
Right, but
Yeah.
now we're all
There's nobody
in
left.
a 911.
Yeah, it's weird. And then oddly enough, Missouri's kind of in a weird spot. If you look at it on like the map, on the like the case map, we're like low still comparatively, but surrounded by like red.
Just, yeah,
It's
lava.
like I think there's like, oh gosh, I think we're 18th or 19th in most per population, but like everything around us is in the top 10.
It's just on fire.
Yeah. So it's and Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City's done fairly well in the metro, as well as you can do, I guess.
Well, we've done better, but a lot of people are not paying attention. And
Nobody
just-
cares.
Like Westport, I mean, people that don't know
The
what
shade.
Westport is.
There's a lot of bars.
There's a lot of bars there.
Yeah.
People have just been going out and pretending. Like, I have friends that are like, just like, yeah, they'll make the reference like, we'll meet up, but I don't know how you feel about the COVID stuff, so we can meet at your house if we want to. It's like, man,
People are dying.
I don't want
people
you
are
here
dying.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. People worried about being a sheep and all this bullshit. We've talked about this 100 times. It's getting so... We're seeing it rise. I don't understand why people can't look at that and be like, well, that's a problem.
The proof is in the pudding.
And you said this yesterday to me when we were talking outside, is like, there's stuff that people have been doing for concerts and venues and restaurants and stuff that people like Casey and the Truman and Marathon Live decided not to do because they
Right.
wanted to stick to the rules. And because of that, and because of those people that decided, well, fuck it, we're going to have 400 people socially distanced. I just heard a story the other day at one of the bars around here that they'll be like, excuse me, you're going to socially distance during the Chiefs game. Like they're all so serious about it. As soon as the game's over, everybody's just huddled around hanging out like it's nothing. How do you make it serious for a couple of hours and then be like, oh, fuck it, never mind, an hour
Yeah.
later?
Yeah.
Just because
Depends
you're
on how
worried about
many.
people coming, like the health department's going to come in from this hour to this hour. Fuck you. This should be you paying attention to the logistics of the whole thing. Like trying to, if you're going to care about it, because then that fucks people
You
like
have
the
to care
Truman.
about it all the time.
Yeah. No, and
And
the
excuse me
restaurant-
for cursing more than I usually do. I'm
I was gonna
really
say, Joe is fired up.
I'm really angry about this because this is affecting my household, my friends, people I care about a lot because they don't want to follow the rules.
Yeah.
And now the mayors all around the world, all around the country are
There
doing
are
the same
mayors
thing.
in other parts of the world, just so everybody knows.
I'm just talking
They
about
have
mayors around the country. Everyone's kind of following suit. I was just talking to my friend in New York, Paul, and about, he doesn't like Cuomo. I think he's great. I think, he's trying. What he does, the other people follow suit. So
Made for a good SNL skit.
closing for, closing the restaurants at 10 p.m. I think it's stupid. I've seen that meme where they, people closing restaurants at 10 a.m. and it's at the
10 p.m.
10 p.m. and it's the Cheeto in the lock.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
I know what you
it's
mean.
not going to do shit.
Well, I understand his justification because what he's saying is that
Drunk people.
it's not just the drunk
Yeah.
people, but it's drunk young people because it's like if you're out before 10, a lot of times you're out dining. It's less of the crowd of the bar. You might grab a drink or two with a friend after
Right.
work, but like after 10, it's like, oh,
it
we're
doesn't
getting
start
crazy.
popping off until 10.
Right, and he said
They
50%.
switch DJs, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
50% of all cases in Kansas City over the last month, I think is what he
20
said.
to 30-year-olds, yeah.
It's 20 and 30-year-olds, and almost all of it is contact traced back to bars.
Yeah.
So
When
that's
Dr.
why-
when he said when Dr. Blah 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 is off duty, people are not paying attention and
Yeah.
and going.
Yeah.
It's because of all of that stuff that now all these other places are going to be really hurt.
like
We've
that-
finally just had a silver line, like a little bit of silver bit of hope at the end, where we had a couple of shows recently and everyone was fine, keeping the distance with their masks on, having their beer every once in a while. It was like, this could actually work out.
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to happen.
Now it's stricter.
It's
yeah.
strict. It's stricter because nobody else could just follow those rules the correct way.
It's like the recess meme.
And now on to Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. So I told you guys last week, I thought that they're going to shut down Kansas City, like preemptively.
Yeah.
Because we all know you're going out to Thanksgiving. I mean, that was a big part of the push yesterday. Is just, hey, just Zoom your fucking family and whatever.
I thought that was wild where he was like, cancel your plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just came
Well,
right out and said
that's
it. Like,
also
I'm not going to see
happening
my kids.
Everywhere. A lot of people, like smart cities, are following that rule, but people are like, don't tell me to not be with my family. No, that's hard. And that's where I feel like is an important topic to talk about, because it's how do you guys feel about that? You know, I know it's hard for Andy and I, like, not going home to see our family. Or for Casey, you know, like if she gets sick, she's the only one that takes care of the Truman.
Yeah.
So the idea of going down to Neodesha to visit her family, we're not going to do it. Not only we're worried about a 90-year-old grandfather,
Yeah.
we're also worried about her aunt and uncle that just came in, or
yeah.
who went to the gas station,
Or who
forgot
just
their
doesn't
mask,
give a fuck.
and ran into Billy,
Yeah.
who's got COVID, you know, and then we're all screwed.
I would say that if I had a family any larger than my own, I would. I wouldn't do any sort of normal. I mean, you know me. I'm an only child of a single mother. Like, it's just, it's always just been the two of us. So I don't really, and even the family that I married into isn't huge by any stretch. But I think if my mom wasn't somebody who was already in my life, or I felt like, oh, her and her husband will just kind of do their thing together, I would be like, okay, no, we're definitely not doing this. But my mom's already been around me. She's been super safe. The whole
Yeah.
thing has been, we've driven home the seriousness of, like, if you want to be part of our bubble, you need to basically eliminate all of
Right.
your others. And so that's the only person who's coming over is my mother. And, and we're going to, we have a big enough house that we can be pretty far away. We'll have the screen door open and
Right.
all that stuff. But, it's, even that's hard. It's it's even coming in here, as we've hired more people, it becomes more. There's more balls in the air. We have a couple employees who are working from home right now just because of exposure risk, and we're down 3 employees right now. So yeah, it's all over the place. You know what I mean? Mike, who's running all the gear right now, he has to do photography for the Kansas City Sporting. Are you still doing KU stuff too? A little bit. But yeah, you're getting tested like every week, right? Before games, yeah. So it's like, I mean, it's not just like one bubble. It's like 90%, 99% of what I see, the people I interact with, and I would say this is probably true for all of us, is the people we have to. It's like we aren't going out there and being super social, and when we are, it's like meeting in people's lawns and things of that nature. And
Right.
yeah,
I just hang out with Joe and Casey outside of work anyway, which I do at work.
right, right. Yeah,
They brought up a good question on a good point on the radio, is that people just keep saying things like what you just said. We just hang out together, which is fine. We're slightly different than most people,
because
but
we're
we
exposed literally
legitimately-
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
We know that we follow those rules.
Right.
But a lot of people are like, yeah, but it's just Katie and Joe. We just did.
But what did Katie and Joe
What did Katie
do?
go last night?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did she wear her mask that one time when she ran to Walgreens to go get, or the Dollar General to go get something, forgot her mask in, and just like, well, I just need to get a pack of cigarettes real quick. I'll be fine. Boom. Like something like that happens.
I always wear
And
the
that's
mask.
what's happening. In most of these cases they're seeing is because of the small things, and then you bring it into your household of your 5 people, and then boom, you're done.
Well, that's like what just happened with my mom's neighbor. How she had to she used to coach softball and went and coached, and then told my mom via text message that she was positive for COVID while she was holding my sister's brand new baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then so my mom got tested. She's negative, but her neighbor's husband, who she lives with, has heart problems, and he is in the hospital now
yeah, of course.
with COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like, could you just have like waited?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it really? Come on. I
No.
know you didn't need the money, girl. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
you
but-
have to think about everyone else around
But it's
you.
so hard for people to think about anyone else.
Oh,
other than
absolutely. I mean,
themselves.
she
Yeah.
put her husband in the hospital, and then, knowing that my sister just had a baby and that my parents are with this child like every other day.
Yeah, there is sort of like this. Talking to certain people, and this seemingly, it's kind of like I feel like there is a big gap where there are people who think like, oh, it can't happen to me. None of my friends have it, and then the other side is like, don't come near me.
Yeah.
I'm definitely lean more in that camp. I'm not like. Something I've said the entire time is you can't eliminate 100% of risk of anything.
Right.
So you just got to play it safe. You got to try to mitigate.
Control the controllable.
Control the controllable. So wear a mask when you can. Be distant from people when you can. I go to Costco because it's the biggest goddamn store on earth, and there's you're not nuts to butts in that place. Like you are. Like the Hy-Vee by my house is really small.
Yeah.
And you get in some of those aisles, and you feel like there's no way I'm not breathing these people's air right now.
Yo, I went to Sam's Club. There were just people like on top of
yeah.
people. Like
it's Black Friday before, and it's
Yeah.
been that way since October. When it's like, there's not what are we doing? There's enough toilet paper. It's been months. Like, what
We're
what
good.
do you go? What the fuck are you doing?
What do
here?
you need?
Yeah.
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 They had to get the 3-pack of Raisin Bran, okay?
But
I do need to get some of that.
How are they all being at the same time?
Yeah, no, this lady was like on top of
We
my
all
mom.
have to get groceries.
Yeah, and my mom was just like,
It's not like this all the time when it's not crazy. What happened?
no,
Did
no,
we
no.
get more people and suddenly, like, I
it's
don't
the
understand.
panic, man.
Are
I don't
people
know.
going to the stores extra? Like more times
Probably.
than normal?
I started grocery shopping during.
Yeah.
I was one
I mean, I guess-
added individual.
I guess you could argue that because people are eating out less.
Yeah,
Maybe
that would
there
make
isn't
sense.
more of a need for groceries and.
Huh.
Yeah,
we
but
just figured it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go to like I said, I go to Costco. I go there I try to get there before the after work rush. So I either hit it at like 10 in the morning with all the old people, or I hit it at like 3.
But you know they don't have it.
Yeah, well, they are like
Hopefully.
there's like multiple people that'll be in there who are like they'll be wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat, but they'll have the mask, the visor, the whole nine. You're just like, yeah, there's been some people very overprotecting, and I'm like, hey, good for you. I mean, hey, I if you have it, I'm not
something
getting it.
doesn't
and Vice
belong.
versa.
Definitely spent more money at grocery store than I've ever done before, because I always would get meals at all the games that I shot, and now that I'm not doing
Oh,
that
yeah.
anymore, it's like I gotta learn how to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything from Postmates. I'd make sure I ordered 2 meals.
Oh yeah, we do that. We'll do that for like last night. We ordered instead of ordering Atlee a like kids quesadilla, we got her the adult quesadilla because half that shit's going to school.
You right.
So
I am Atlee.
yeah, no, very much. Neither of you are on time.
I'm always the first one here sometimes.
Most
I
of
did
the
hear
time.
Savage Love this morning as soon as I turned my car
God,
on.
That fucking song,
I fucking love it.
dude. That's
It's Atlee's favorite song right now.
it's
too.
like so for the first time, and as being an adult, Katie knows the story, but for the first time, Atlee kind of came home with a song that she didn't hear for the first time through us or through one of her shows or whatever, and requested Jason Derulo's "Savage Love."
fucking
I didn't like
catchy.
it. I didn't like it the first time, and now I just downright hate it. And yeah, she asked if she could listen to it on the way to school again this morning, and I'm like, not today.
I'll take her to school.
We're listening to we listened to Imogen Heap on the whole way to school today. Just like I need to chill the fuck out, dude. Yeah.
I need you to get a little sad over there, Savage Love.
Oh man, she likes Imogen Heap though, so it's all right. But for the longest time, she definitely listens to like some more, I guess, like adult music. Like Joan Jett. And her first concert was fucking Joan Jett. So
Yeah,
she's pumped on that stuff. But like she's got these little friends now that just
aren't as cool as her, or cultured, or have as good as taste.
that's the last one I would definitely say. Yeah, like it's just like pop culture. I mean, that's just what happens when you're young and impressionable. I mean, it happens to us too. It's like I'm sure I do plenty of things because I think they're cool. That seed was planted in my head somewhere by something.
Yeah.
Somebody I look up to, or something like that. So I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I have tattoos. Clearly, I didn't invent these. Somebody had these before me. I thought they looked cool enough on somebody for me to
go.
emulate that. But
Yeah, Fred Durst.
pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to think back like who my first tattoo people were. It's definitely Fred Durst and
Travis Barker.
Travis Barker.
when I was
That's why I have
Yeah.
and Jacoby
Good.
Shaddix
Good Charlotte.
wow.
from Papa Roach.
Ugh. Oh my God.
What? Their first album?
No. What was the song? Scars.
I didn't listen to any of this shit.
I used to do the whole production of that song in the shower
Oh.
when I lived at home.
Okay.
I would sing it so loud. My mom hates
mean, that
that
was-
fucking song.
It's not a bad song. I'm all about the Infest album, which came out in 1999 with Last Resort and
Oh, I don't know the name of the album. I know Last
No,
Resort.
isn't Broken Home on that one too?
Broken Home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Infest, the one that was on the Tony Hawk soundtrack.
Yeah. The as far
Or
as
was it Blood
tattoos,
Brothers?
I don't know, man.
Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
The accident song.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
I never got into Blood Brothers.
No,
Are
Blood
you
Brothers. I'm talking about. There's a song
There's
by
a song
Papa
called
Roach.
Blood Brothers. There's a band called
I'm
Blood Brothers.
okay. I'm
I don't
talking
care
about
about
the,
either.
Yeah, I'm talking about the band Blood
Yes,
Brothers.
I appreciate Blood Brothers. You know the drummer of that guy used to wore a self-made hat all around the world once.
What?
Yeah, it just there's pictures of him like front of every single he was on a tour and just wore one. And I was like, you wore that for like 3 years. We're not a company anymore. Thank you for the support, man.
Blood Brothers
right.
and MGK, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so confused why it didn't take off.
The
Because there's too many companies called
There's so
something
many
with
companies.
made
Yeah.
in it. And on top of that, it's a clothing line when everyone's like, yo, I'm an influencer. I'm going to make a clothing line. Oh, dude. Speaking of stupid shit,
Hit me
there's
with
this
it.
company called Pizza Ass or
What?
Ass Pizza.
Ass pizza.
come again.
Is that
It's this kid.
is that acne
He's
on your
part
butt?
of the SoundCloud rappers or whatever and all this shit.
Yeah.
But he's just fucking takes book bags, a school bag like JanSport or whatever, and then draws all over it the way like
We know
those
what it looks
degenerate
like.
kids that used to fucking draw on their shit when they were kids.
Hey.
You know,
hey,
I was a degenerate. So
Yeah.
us and the
Everything I owned
degenerates-
was drawn on.
Yeah. Was it the kind that you could like wash and draw?
No.
again?
No.
I
Anyway,
took perfectly
see,
good jeans and covered them with Sharpie.
He
Well,
draws
yeah.
on the shit and then calls that shit street art and boats. I'm mad he's not here because he's like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, no,
Wow.
it's garbage. I understand when we
Is he
put
is
stupid
it like
shit.
Banksy? Is he the Banksy
No,
of
it's
clothing?
'Cause does it
garbage.
destroy
It's
itself?
stick figure drawings on a thing, and he's like, check this out, and he'll take existing things like Supreme, and he'll draw stupid shit on it, but like bad. It's not like he drew something cool with like, like a cool doodle. And it's like, oh man, but at least it's art because not everybody else can.
You
do
sound
it
like an
this.
angry dad right
Dude,
I was
it's
gonna say,
real-
but at least
here's
it's
my-
working because here we are.
But here is my thing about it is I always thought it like simplistic streetwear was cool, but also I'd be like, man, you just put the word Supreme on something and it's a thing. But I understood that. I understood that people like simplicity. They like the limited aspect
Yeah.
of it. They like feeling that way. All of that is great, and I appreciate the art aspect of that. I grew up, with a dad
Staten
who was always about art and stuff like that, and always explained to me that the most important part of your thing is the wrap, is your stick. No matter what, you could say, crumple a piece of paper and be like, this is art. If you can say, hey, this represents my brain and the way life and reality kind of get meshed together. That's what makes art, is your
I'd buy it.
explanation and what other people can
Yeah,
observe.
it's an
in that.
expression of your.
So the expression of
yeah,
that is
yeah.
important, and
Sell
I
me this
always
pen.
kept that with my, with me my whole life, and that's how I've done a lot of stuff thanks to my dad's advice on that. But when I see some bullshit that's straight up garbage, and people are trying to tell me, no, that's cool, I gotta say, I'm not an angry dad, but that ass pizza ass, whatever the fuck it's called, is straight up stupid. It's
Okay.
not fair, and I don't like the hype behind it because it's just some dumb kid with some face tattoos making garbage.
As someone who's put a lot of
Sounds
dumb
like-
shit on a lot of dumb
No,
t-shirts.
but you
I
took
was gonna
time.
say, I think
Someone designed something.
own a couple of
Someone
those
got
dumb
paid to
shit.
create that. Someone put their heart and soul into thinking about whatever dumb thing it was,
Yeah.
what we created. There's nothing put into this. This is a kid drawing on a backpack and being like, look at me, I'm cool. No, you're not.
Okay, all right.
Joe has spoken.
I don't know. I'm pizza ass. If whatever your name is, if
Fuck
you're out
that
there,
kid.
Not fuck him. Just
Explain-
fuck what he's trying. Explain to me what it is you're doing.
Yeah,
Reach
explain.
me. Joe
Help
at Plug
me
Your Holes. Email me.
understand.
We'll talk to me. Explain to me where your head's at. Because I want to know.
okay.
Because I think he's fine. But I think what
You
he's
just don't like-
doing
you
is
just don't-
stupid.
You don't like the shtick.
I don't like the stick. I think it's stupid.
You don't like everything that he represents.
Okay.
I get the SoundCloud rapper lifestyle thing. It's cool. People jump, but this is like, no, that's not cool. Why are people buying this?
My friend Doug has a, I'm probably going to get the number wrong. I believe he has a $3,000 Chanel backpack. And it's like, it's limited edition. I don't know to what degree. I just know like whatever the rough details were. But to me, it looks like a shitty backpack that is going to fall apart if you actually use it. And I'm sure it's fine. But that is, I am not that person. His wife's a fucking fashion designer, so I don't even know if he cares. Right. She does.
Yeah.
And so, like, they have all sorts of wackadoodle shit that I just don't get, I don't understand. But, like, that's, like, I definitely understand that, like, okay, Nikes are more expensive than, whatever you get at Payless shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a line in the sand that, like, even when we were talking with Boats last week about the sneakerheads paying, like, $50,000 for a pair of shoes at auction, and you're just like, yeah, I just can't wrap my head around that one.
Especially because they don't even tend to wear them.
No, they sit on the shelf.
Yeah,
it's an appreciating asset.
Fucking wild.
They'll probably sell it for $100,000 10 years from now.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
No, I mean, assets are weird. It's like.
And I own a lot of shit and a lot of shoes and a lot of clothes.
Sure.
It's wild though. No. Mm-mm.
But so there's kind of two schools of thought. You wear. And I'll just use clothing as an example. You wear H&M and Forever 21 and Delia's or whatever the fuck people are wearing these days, and you buy all this inexpensive clothing that is worth really nothing after you've used it. I mean, it's either going to be threadbare or nobody wants it. Whatever. Or you buy like your Louis Vuitton, your Chanel, things like that, and then there's a chance that, especially when it comes to like accessories, not just the clothing itself. It's always relevant, and like it's potentially going to be worth more money than you paid for it down the road. Mm-hmm. And so like I do see kind of some of that because like I look for value retention and like depreciation curves way too aggressively when I buy expensive things. And so like I would much rather buy, like there's like dumb shit you buy. Like I bought an $80 print for above my fireplace at home, which is just like a cheap place to buy shit for your house to fill big walls. But like I can totally understand why somebody would spend like $5,000 on a really big print for their for something like my friend Aaron has a very, very expensive piece of wall art in his bedroom. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense because it's never not going to be that valuable, and you get to see it every day if you love that thing. Yeah. Same thing goes with like cars or whatever. A lot of people just want to buy a car that's cheap, but the cheap car is going to get cheaper quicker.
Then you're going to have to end up getting another one.
Right. Yeah. There's there's ways to take advantage of like the depreciation curves and stuff. But when it comes down to something like that, like what he's talking about with just kind of making graffiti on shirts that isn't particularly artful, man, limited one of ones, I guess would be the argument there is that, hey, if you know that there's only one of those, especially if it was ever done on camera, you're paying for a moment in time. Then in the same way
it's the hype thing.
No, I know.
I kind of get. That's the one aspect I get. But man, like that's how far we've come. We're out of ideas. I was just looking at some of the newer stuff, and it's like he just embroiders like "wow" or whatever the hell. I don't know what the hell it says. It looks like "wow" to me.
Like a shirt you can buy from Ross.
But think of how many people like we you know better than I do. Kill brands, or Hello merch, Hello apparel, whatever. Hello apparel they just make shirts that say hello on everything.
They just say stuff, yeah.
They just say hello.
Oh.
That's it. And they were one of the first people to kind of like make that kind of incorporate the brand into like baby stuff. So they made like onesies and all this other shit. And then they ended up on Good Morning America. And then they were selling like $165,000 in sales a day. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess the word hello sells.
So you're just like, okay, sure, I guess. And Supreme, same thing. It's like some things just.
Supreme is just quality, though, also. Like, not only is it limited edition, obviously, and these things you'll never find again, but, like, it is just overall quality of what it is
I've
made
never
on.
owned a Supreme item, so I guess I can't attest to its quality.
I've never owned, but I have touched and worn, and that's it.
Okay.
But did it, like,
wasn't mine.
Supreme start as, like, just a skateboard company?
I didn't even think it was a skateboard company.
Apparel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they changed, and it's like
I thought it was some older guy who wasn't a skater, I thought he was. My story might be a little fuzzy, but I thought he eventually started selling skateboards just because he saw the trend. But I think it was even something else before that.
I could just picture Boats listening to this later, screaming like
You guys don't know
Just as
anything.
how fuck this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just to go back to SPs real quick to clear the air, like I'm just angry about it, maybe because I'm just old and I don't understand
I
it.
agree with you because you got to think about
You know,
Like the
there's just a bunch of
companies-
kids trying to make some money or whatever.
Mm.
I don't want to
Who-
come at them, but I'm just
Mike would-
mad.
like the companies who design something. So say it's like a Louis Vuitton bag that they work on or mess up. I would be pissed that you're messing up my design. Like,
right.
when it comes to like when I take a lot of photos, people steal the photo and then do this stupid edits on it. Like one time there was a basketball player with flames coming out of it. And I was
Oh,
like,
sure.
And it's just like
I love me flaming basketball players.
it's like it pisses me off that people don't think my product is good enough.
Right.
I can imagine where they would be pissed that someone's edited or fucking up their bag because they don't think it's good enough and they're making money off of
It's
it.
like nobody asked for this remake, okay?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
yes, Supreme is a skateboard company.
So that's where they were to start.
Yeah, so the brand was founded, blah, 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 1994.
Well, they just sold the Vans.
Targeted at the skateboarding and hip hop cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to look that up
Well,
because then it would make me look like I had to look it up. The idea that I would have to
I had to look it up.
Supreme makes me feel old,
I
even
Google
old again.
everything.
I
Google
don't.
all the things.
I do Google a lot of things.
I Google really dumb shit.
I have a tendency of going down like Wikipedia rabbit holes.
Yeah, that's
and,
where I am
and,
now.
And being like, yeah, I do want to know how Levi Strauss was founded.
It's like, actually, thank you for putting this in a blue lettering. So now I know it's a link, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to a different one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to something completely unrelated for a second, we're talking about like what inspired us to get our tattoos. Mine, I do remember, just like how I remember why I started stretching my ears. I was like 6 or 7, and my mom had a couple friends who were like biker types, and there was this guy that I met. I believe my mom and I were out walking and just ran into somebody that's a friend of hers, and the guy had full sleeves.
Prison dads.
And sure, I mean,
What?
it's not out of the question. My mom does not discriminate. Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, that's what I want.
Tattoos in prison.
I want my arms to be completely covered. And that was it was never not an option, from that point on.
What do you think about, so like, Nicholas? He's doing the thing.
Are you
where-
referring to Meg's?
Yeah.
You got to give them.
Yeah, sorry. So our friend Nicholas, he has also modeled for Plug Your Holes, like way back in, didn't he
Oh, yeah,
do
yeah,
it with
yeah.
Meg?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
way back
Way back in the day.
when. Yeah. Now he is like getting, where people like black out their whole.
Yeah, I
he's-
know a few people have done
He's doing that, and like he posts a bunch of stuff like on Instagram, like his Instagram stories of like other people, sharing posts like stories and stuff, whatever. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think that's wild.
I would do it personally, but there's a lot of things I would
go
do. For being a
ham.
guy who owns like a body jewelry company, and like you would assume that like there's probably some like craziness to that. I'm not even a big fan of piercings other than my ears. Like I've had my lips pierced and stuff like that, but it was always just like it just wasn't my thing. And,
Yeah.
whatever, it's fine.
It was at the time.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I was wearing eyeliner and having the snake bites made sense.
Mm-hmm.
The blacking out. I've seen it done a few different ways, where somebody takes like their forearm and doesn't want to get tattoo removal, like they're blacking out something over something that was there beforehand.
Right.
And I'm like, I get it. You don't want to look at the thing. You don't want to pay for tattoo removal, whatever. And then I've seen some really cool ones where the usage of negative space, and they do some really cool shit where their arm is primarily black, but there is design work incorporated
So
into
it
it.
almost just looks like filler.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
sense,
and
yeah.
I like that. I couldn't see myself doing it unless it was like maybe my calf or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have nothing against that. I have nothing against any of it if it's your choice. But I just could never see myself blacking out like a big chunk. I would be more likely to go the tattoo removal route and then re-tattoo,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Well,
That's,
like
yeah.
from my understanding, like that is the tattoo that he wants.
yeah, I've seen that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think what it.
I didn't know that was a thing. I know that.
Andrew WK just has little lines all over his body for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh,
I asked him about it, and he I'm sure he has a reason, but he didn't give me that reason.
does he look like what's the Halloween costume, the pop art thing, right?
What? Big
Oh.
Hero 6.
No,
I don't know what we're talking about.
like trying to look like a fake. So you like draw
Yeah,
the outlines on
in
your
the
face, so you
lines.
look like you're
Oh,
painting
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think people just do things that make them modify themselves. The only other thing that I've ever felt was weird is when people like tattoo their eyeballs and stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't think that's safe.
No, they could go right through your eyelid.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
just like there shouldn't be shit in your eye, and then they can click glaucoma or something.
I say I can't even
Yeah,
do the
just-
little
You know what I mean?
the
Other
the
than that, you
wind
put
eye
some-
test thing.
Oh, yeah,
Whatever.
those
You
are
want to paint
son of a
yourself
bitch.
black?
Oh, fuck that.
Try getting LASIK. They like suction cup your eyeball. It's a whole
Yeah,
thing.
no,
man.
no, no. Like, keep your head still. Man,
was
I'm
actually-
trying.
It was there's a lady there whose only job is to hold your hand and tell you everything's okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
love
this-
her.
straight up. Yeah.
She's like the Walmart.
I don't remember her
greeter.
name. Apologize, lady who held my hand. But
her.
the whole thing only takes like 5 minutes.
I feel like that we need that in life right now.
Yeah,
Someone
that's
that'll
what
I'm
hold
saying.
your hand with a glove.
hey Denise, can you just Denise, can you come over in like a hazmat suit and just like
Just
put your hand on my shoulder for a little
Yeah.
bit? You know? Yeah.
Which is why Thanksgiving's gonna be hard, because no one's people that are gonna be home alone, not having that human interaction. And I was reading.
I feel bad for truly alone people. Like
yes, alone
Yeah.
people. that
there are a
don't
lot
have,
of people who don't have family close by or don't have like significant others in their life at the moment.
Yeah.
And who have already had to turn towards so much more aloneness. Like I think about Waldy's grandma, our good friend Waldy. If you don't know who he is, he was a longtime Plicker Holes employee. He has moved back to live with his grandma, so she has like someone there. But if it wasn't for that,
Yeah.
with all this lockdown and shit, and the fact that she's 80,
Oh my God, I know.
Like-
yeah.
and looks forward to the few holidays to get to
yeah.
see each other.
Yes.
That's how my grandpa is right now.
Yeah.
He literally just like waves at my mom through the screen door. It's very sad.
yeah, I bet. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
And he's old as shit.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's people who are like 106 and kick this thing. So I
I'm
don't
gonna
even.
say he's still driving and everything. Mac's gonna be fine. He's gonna be the only one out of our family that probably survives this thing.
Ugh.
That man can't be killed.
You ever think of that phrase, "old as shit"? Shit's kind of new. You know what I mean?
Well,
You can just put as shit behind anything and it works though, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Old as
cold as
shit.
shit.
So
Shit's
that
warm.
means old as shit would be like a newborn baby.
I get shit is worse. That doesn't make sense.
because it's
No, it
kind of
doesn't.
new every day,
But
and
you
like
know what I
then
was saying.
kind of deteriorates real quick.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
My grandpa keeps trying to die.
What?
It's true.
Like on purpose?
Yeah, he's put himself in the hospital for like a major holiday for the last like 5 years, and he always says that he keeps trying to die, but my mom won't let him.
Wow.
Well, he like moved. So my parents moved them down from Ohio when it was him and my grandma, and
Okay.
then my grandma passed away in like 2015. My mom does listen to this. I get that wrong. And so it's just been him
Yeah.
living in Warrensburg,
Fucking Warrensburg.
hanging out with my mom, and then. But he is like,
Warrensburg is the butt of every joke in Kansas City. If you don't know what Warrensburg is,
but leave it alone.
it's like on the Kansas side. Everybody makes fun of Wyandotte County. Oh, you must be from Wyandotte
Okay,
County.
yo, Warrensburg is not.
Oh man,
No.
I've met some
No.
interesting folks from Warrensburg.
You right.
See,
Hello.
coming here from the north, the true north, like the other side of the wall north. This to me is like the South. Kansas City's not.
Oh.
But like I go to like Belton, and I'm just
What?
like, who the fuck are these people?
Mel-
and why
no.
are there 36 Waffle Houses all of a sudden?
Heroin and meth
Oh, dude,
everywhere.
it's insane. Yeah. So like
God.
this, like at least in Minnesota, you definitely have plenty of degenerates and what have you. And we were also on the state line with Wisconsin, which is where all the degenerates live. And but the accent didn't change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's that combination of people who sounded like they're in the movie Fargo, and then people who sound more like me. And that they just kind of that was all lifestyles.
Yeah.
There wasn't any like half my friends who were like in metal bands all sound like they could be extras in Fargo.
Yeah.
But there wasn't like it didn't seem like that was a different group of people than what we were. And here I feel like if I go to Belton or Grandview or Joplin or the Ozarks or
Parts of Warrensburg.
Warrensburg,
It's a different breed.
it
You're
is
right.
a different breed. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the only places that feel kind of the same is like here, St. Louis and Columbia, and Springfield's kind of
Spring Vegas.
Springfield's kind of dicey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've had very weird things happen to me in Springfield.
Okay, I found out Laura was pregnant in Springfield. Yeah, the band that we were sharing a bus with had an off-day show, and I fell asleep in the front lounge, and Brett came in and woke me up, and I was just like, "Hey,
You're gonna be a dad.
No, yeah, like, I'd be like, you're a dick for telling me that. But he's like, Laura's tried calling you like 8 times. She says it's important. She doesn't seem mad or anything. I wonder if she's pregnant. And I'm like, fuck you, Brett. And I went in the back lounge. And I called. Yeah, she's pregnant.
Oh, she's fucking pregnant.
Fuck, July 3rd, 2013.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to always say that if somebody like at work or whatever had to come and be like, hey, you know, you talk to me, I was like, are you pregnant? Like, whatever. One time I was right, and she was pregnant and engaged, and it was awful.
What?
Yikes.
There was a lot more backstory to that
Yeah.
story.
But you don't want to go
whatever.
into the story on the
sometimes
on the pod.
whatever. I just forget the words half of it. You know.
One of my favorite things, my favorite thing about this is that you get to know that you during the product breakdown is not like a character. It's just
That's my face.
yeah.
My mom did make a comment about that. She was like, "You really make a lot of faces." And
Dude,
I was
it's
like,
so fun
You've
editing.
known me for 28 years, Mom.
Dude, it's so much fun editing. Being like, I'm keeping that one.
Yeah.
We're gonna zoom and enhance.
God.
Zoom and enhance.
It
Yeah.
literally looked like that Trump guy on the news who was like eating his mouth.
What?
You guys not seen this?
Are you talking about the sleeveless dude at the Arizona one where he's like yelling like?
No, this was like when he didn't think he was on camera.
Oh.
And he was like moving his mouth around like he just like did a line like in the bathroom before he came out. And in the last product video, there is a time where I'm like not there. I'm just looking away and I'm just yeah, it looks like I am
Okay.
eating
I
my
didn't. I don't. I
gums.
must not have caught that one.
It's gross.
Do you disassociate? Do you know what that is?
Do I exit reality?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
Yeah.
I do it very mildly and
Yeah.
very rarely.
I do it every morning in the shower.
Laura does it all the time.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure my daughter
disappear.
seemingly does it all the time.
Well, that's probably because everybody around her is like less than her, and she doesn't want to communicate.
Oh,
with them.
stop.
I
There's-
think Atlee is so fucking cool.
I agree that she's very fucking
God.
cool, but I think that she has. I feel that she has very good friends. So
Yeah, no.
they've
The neighborhood
it's
friends.
the neighborhood friends, and she goes to like a hippie dippy school, so all the kids are kind of weird and
That is
quirky.
probably
So
true. They probably all dissociate together.
oh yeah, like
Just-
Probably had
meet each
disassociation time.
yeah.
They're
I-
like, see you in the clouds.
Once you get above 6th grade, there, I can't think of a kid in that school that has like what you would call a traditional haircut.
Ah, so they're all gonna be super cool.
They're gonna start a really great band.
Yes.
Or
a podcast.
or a podcast or something. But they all, and it's kind of fun too because they at a certain point part of your schooling in there is farm school, so you're like you learn how to
Crops.
drive tractors and take care of all the livestock and everything too.
shit,
Yeah, So
really?
yeah, it's like a super crazy school, but it's we're not sure if she'll go that far with it. It kind of depends on what she wants in life at that
Wow.
kind of age.
What if
but
Atlee was like, I'm going into agriculture?
I'd be like, I think
That's
that's
awesome.
a bad idea unless you own a lot of land
Yeah,
and
I'd be like,
robots.
we live in North Missouri.
Yeah, yeah, and it's great. It's great for that. Okay, here's my. I always have like I think about automation and robots and stuff like that like way too much, and so like I always like think of what industries are the first to die with automation, and it's not that agricultural will die. It'll just be one person and 400 robots. So you just want to be the one person with the 400 robots.
always
True.
gonna be
Just
someone-
beat out all the other people.
Yeah, be the first to market with a robot.
Yeah.
And then like, and then just pay
Last-
Monsanto that sweet Monsanto bucks, and you'll be fine.
The last
yeah.
human standing.
Yeah.
I want to be a robot fixer. That's why I started to be
There's
nice
gonna
to
be a
Alexa.
What does it
robot.
want to be a robot?
There's gonna be a robot that fixes robots.
I used to say fuck you to Alexa
Westworld.
and like joke around. I don't anymore.
There is
say
robots
fuck
that
you what?
fix
To
robots.
Alexa.
Oh, yeah.
And now I don't. Because now she started saying like, have a good morning, Casey. Have a good morning, Joe. I'm like, because I know it's like programmed in, but I'm like,
It's probably
you're
because
being nice to me.
making you feel bad.
It's like
Yeah.
those Boston Dynamics people when they're fucking with the robots with the hockey sticks.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before one of those things just.
It's going to happen.
Yo, Corey goes around and unplugs all my my thingies. What are those?
Alexis.
Yeah,
Smart home devices?
yeah.
Why?
They'll just be unplugged because he doesn't trust them.
Yeah,
he
me
thinks
and
that
Corey.
we're listening.
Me and Corey could probably go down a couple rabbit holes.
yeah,
I'm-
one time, not one time. I guess
What
a
the
couple
fuck are they
times.
going to listen to what he
It
has
just
to say?
randomly comes
They're
on.
going to be like, oh no, he talked about skateboarding.
I disagree.
It's because sometimes we figure out the secrets of the world together, and we talk about them aloud.
I think having,
Oh, okay.
You know?
yeah, nah,
I understand.
yeah, you don't talk about them. There's
You want
nothing-
your
Alexa-
secrets to say secret.
Exactly. But then
Yeah.
they're like, oh shit, they figured it out. And then I don't know, something happens.
All of a sudden, George Soros is going to kick in
Amazon
the door.
doesn't care about Becky, who got in,
I'm not talking about Becky.
that got
about
pregnant
other
and
things.
engaged, and you told the whole story at home. They don't give a shit. They don't care.
Her name was actually Shelby.
They're trying. It's the other stuff. We've talked about this before, and it's
Yeah. So I have friends who are extremely anti some of that stuff. Yeah, they just are like, they have none of that stuff in their life, and they're very, very pro data security and stuff. And Joe is somebody who's more like trusts the brands of the products he uses and doesn't think that there's anything nefarious in play.
But I do
And
think that
I'm
they're
somewhere
trying
in
to
the
figure
middle.
out, because it's always telling me to buy dog pads and stuff that I need.
Yeah.
It's because they're listening.
Cool.
Is your Hey Siri
No, because
on?
they know that I need to buy it based on my buying trends, and it's
Probably, yeah.
They literally, the same way we send out text messages and emails to people, they now have a thing that goes directly to me while I'm having my coffee in the morning. It's like, do you remember you need to buy dog pads? It's been a while.
Oh shit! that
I
reminds
need to
me.
order those.
I
Cool.
need to buy cat food today.
That's what
Oh,
I
there
think
you
is
go.
the only thing, because now they're going to start
need to buy
recommend.
baby
They
food
started
too.
recommending all this stupid shit for the holidays already. Like Black
yeah.
Friday sales are happening. I'm like, nah, it's in my kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
I actually am very thankful
whatever.
for all those strategic ads
Yeah,
because it reminds me of the things
if I knew
forgot
it would
needed.
ever go be if I knew that it would never go beyond that, I don't care. That's fine.
negativity type. Yeah.
My problem is it's not the nuclear weapons that are in the hand of a good country that scare me. It's the nuclear weapons that are in the hand of whatever this country becomes that scares me. It's like it's the idea that
Careful where you give your power.
right. We only know who has power now, not who will have power later.
Yeah.
And that's why data is, I think, such a big security issue for me, because you just don't know, and then who nefariously can then access by, getting in there, unlawfully, accessing data and things like that. So
Saw
not a
another
big fan.
meme about that.
Oh yeah.
People are like, I don't want to get the vaccine because that's how the government tracks you. And they're like, oh, not
No,
your
you do that
social
willingly.
security number
Yeah.
or your iPhone or your laptop
Yeah, I mean-
and it's like, oh, yeah.
When I read
But that vaccine's going to be the one.
the Edward Snowden book, it's a permanent record.
Oh, the guy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He played. in
Yes, he's Edward Snowden.
I
Citizen
know
4.
that they're two different people. It was a great
Yeah.
movie.
He whipped off his mask, and it was
I-
actually him the whole time.
Yeah, right.
I just love Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay, sure. I liked Third Rock. He was in Third Rock from the Sun, right? He
Yes.
was on that
Yeah,
TV show.
and
The Bruce Willis movie with Lupa.
Oh yeah, I like that one where they made his face look funny.
Any
Yeah.
90s movie when he was like under the age of 25.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Casey calls him JGL. I think it's a little.
Was he the one? Is he the one that's in American
far.
History X too?
No, that is Edward Norton.
Edward? No, the kid in not.
You don't know.
What?
I don't remember who
What
the
did
kid
you
in.
say?
Said you
American
don't know him if you start calling people JG when by their like
Oh,
abbreviation.
not their full name?
Yeah.
It's probably because she's not sure of one of the names.
Yeah.
He has 3.
Gordon Joseph.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I
Gordon-Levitt. Jordan?
used to call him Lovett. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Your family big.
No, I just, and then it's one of those
You
things
just
where you
didn't
don't
know?
hear it pronounced. It's like when I do that to like band names and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, same, actually.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
call them whatever the hell.
And that's just what it's always been for the
Like-
last 10 years of your life.
What was the band you listened to with Atlee in the car? You said it early in the podcast.
Imogen Heap.
Yeah. I used to call them like
Imogen Heap?
I call like hemoglobin hop or something. Like, but that's it because I
You also
read
thought
it
the
like.
Counting Crows were the Black Crows the other
Well,
day.
no, but that's different. That's different. I would just read it like in my own brain, but
No, it
never heard it
sounds-
out loud.
It sounds like a lot
Hemoglobin
like
hop. Yeah, that's them.
Okay.
It's not that I can't read. It's just that sometimes it just.
Oh, what was it?
So Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I just for
Levitt.
some reason I read it that way and it stuck with me for a while.
Love it.
And
I
I just
know.
think John Lovett's the.
Yeah, and I
Most
think that's what I
awkward
was.
John
Comedian.
Travolta.
That's what I was combining.
Okay. All right. Well,
How the hell did we get here?
how the hell did we get here? I think we're gonna keep this one a little shorter than most, just for the sake of us getting back to work.
Got shit to do.
We got shit to do.
Oh, on that note, as we're ending, I just want to clarify. Sometimes I forget these things are live, and we're going to put it out there, and it'll stay there forever.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I just want to clarify.
Are you going to
to
apologize?
the ass pizza people?
Yeah, good.
I just don't like it, and sometimes it just makes me angry.
You'll have to show. I'll give my opinion next week because I got to see what this is. Because I am in the dark. I have no idea what the fuck
Yeah.
you're talking about. So.
It just bothers me. I have nothing wrong with you guys. I hope you guys continue to be successful and get money to buy actual larger things and big
I think they
factories
sh-
instead of having to do it out of your apartment and all that. We all started somewhere. So I
think they
appreciate
should
that
email
you're
you.
trying to do some stuff. Email me still
Yeah.
so I can understand how it started.
Talk a lot of shit to him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Start an
Go ahead. I don't give a
an
shit.
internet fight right here.
Yeah. Start an internet fight with me. That's fine. But then you can watch this video and notice that like I was just angry. 'Cause
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff
At
going on in the
life.
world right now. I'm angry at stuff with my wife.
Venting
like I
off.
feel bad about
Casey's
not her
perfect.
No,
Yeah.
physically,
no,
like the
no.
thing with the Truman and
Yeah,
the fact that
God.
like
Career
they
stuff,
might not have
personal stuff.
to
Yeah.
be open and be closed because of all these other assholes. We talked about all this stuff. We went right that and we went into Pete's ass, and I had a meeting with somebody else about it. We're talking about making clothing, and I'm like, man, why does this shit make money and other stuff?
I'll steal
I'm
the
just mad.
anger.
I'm just mad.
Real quick.
I'm happy for you.
Do you remember the week before the coronavirus like really popped off and Andy was sick? And you walked in and I said, Andy's not here today because he has coronavirus.
I was so fucking mad
and
at you.
turned around and had to leave work for the day. And then literally
Yeah.
the next week we were in a pandemic and look at us now.
Yeah, because it was
You
when
didn't joke about
was
that.
when that's when all the coronavirus was just on the cruise ship.
And he
still.
had just gotten back from the cruise
and
ship.
he works
yeah.
on a cruise ship, and
And
yeah,
It was just a fluke Monday. And that was another time where I made a back joke that wasn't funny, but I thought it was funny.
oh, I think it's hilarious.
My man.
Joe was under a lot of stress at the time,
Yeah.
and we
I guess nothing's changed.
all we had talked about for like
Nothing
weeks,
has changed.
all we had talked about for
7 months.
yeah, all we had talked about for like a couple weeks at that point though was the us not knowing and how bad it was and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it was a little more extreme. Like we didn't know if like everyone died.
And it felt like we were having private conversation. You know, like we're like we
Like,
didn't want to
we
worry
knew.
anybody, and then all of a sudden I come in and they're making jokes about it. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
No, literally, like I fucked your whole day up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You said you were going to go to lunch and then you just didn't come back.
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Well,
make my life better 80% of the time.
Katie is like a brick,
Goes down.
and Joe is the glass window, just throwing bricks.
Yeah. Like today, I already apologized this morning for being annoying.
No, you're not annoying.
No.
Stop it.
When I look at our text and there's just so much
Yeah,
blue.
and I read it, and then sometimes I'm like, well, I don't want to respond right away with like just a K because it just looks like I'm not like
don't wanna respond
taking
Talking
the
right
about
away.
time.
text message etiquette is what we're.
So my etiquette is that I just don't respond until like I can fully respond. But then sometimes times go by and people are like, hello.
Times,
And
days.
then I'm like, oh
Days
shit,
go
I haven't
by.
responded. So then I end up just sending a K, and it's like, fuck, it looks like I didn't care. So it's a lot of things.
if it's any
just know I'm
consolation,
busy.
If it's any consolation, I'm his boss, and he doesn't reply to me either.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like
I reply.
No, and
all the
sometimes
time.
no. There are definitely times where I'm just like, hey, did you do that thing, or hey, did this get done, or something like that, and it's just like ghost. It's just like he's
Or-
probably in the middle of something. But it's
Right.
I always know that it's if you saw that I texted you, and we're in the middle of something, and I know in your head you're like, oh, I'll reply to that in a minute because I'm in the middle of something. That's when I never get the reply.
Yeah.
Is when I know you're busy, or I know like you're at dinner or something like that. I know your intention is to I'll just text Sam when I'm done, and then never.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I do that when I do mark as red on my computer.
yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get back to work. See you guys next week.